Hey everyone, I'm Cindy and I'm here with you from the Nurse Leadership Dumpster Fire channel. And I am here to talk to you guys about some of the challenges that we face when we go from being a bedside nurse into leadership. Many of the challenges that we face as a bedside nurse can be translated into nursing leadership, even though it's a very different skill set. But some of those take home lessons are really important. I'm going to introduce you to my friend Teresa, who's on this channel with us. And she has a story to tell you about when she made a pretty devastating medication error. And if you're a bedside nurse out there, chances are you've made a mistake before, and there's a high probability that that mistake was a med error. Now, sometimes medication errors have negative outcomes, but most of the time they have no negative outcome, and it's just a near miss, is what we call it. But whenever that happens, it can be very difficult to recover from those moments. It's very common for a bedside nurse to feel a deep sense of shame and remorse. It can feel like the floor just dropped out from underneath you. And when you're in the middle of a chaotic day, if you're, in her situation, she's in an ICU, there's a lot going on. It's very difficult to just step away. However, I think being able to look inside and see that you are not functioning in the way you need to and ask for help. I hope that you hear her story. I hope that it resonates with you. I hope you know that you're not alone if you've been there before. And I hope that this helps you understand how you can take some of those lessons we learn as bedside nurses and it can actually be useful, it can be a superpower for us as leaders so that we can be more relatable to our staff. We can generate empathy for them and make sure that we're looking at things like systems and how to teach our nursing staff to speak up for themselves and to communicate what they need when they're in a difficult time or a difficult situation. So, without further ado, I want to introduce you to Teresa and let her tell her story.
Hey guys, Taresa here, just wanting to hop on and do my mini episode of Confessions of a Bedside Nurse to Nurse Leader. I wanted to talk about a time that I was a bedside nurse and I was in a busy ICU again. And I had a patient that had just come back from the OR. They had to go back to the OR during my shift for bleeding, needed to be reopened. Some things were going down. So I sent the patient back to the OR, came back, settled halfway through my shift, and we're getting everything ready. And the patient kind of starts to rouse, but they hadn't been fully reversed yet. So I was like, okay. So I turned around to give a bolus off of the IV pump of propofol to my patient. And unbeknownst, pump had not been turned off of anesthesia mode, which means when I went to bolus what I knew and my muscle memory, I didn't double check. I just did my bolus and I turned around and I was settling the patient and I was listening to what was going on and doing a few things. But all of a sudden I hear the pump still going and I didn't give a bolus big enough for the pump to continue to make noise. So and I look at the monitor and I look at my patient and I look at everyone in the room. Anesthesia, a bunch of people are still there and I'm like, I just bolused this patient way too much propofol. I've never done this before. At this point, I'd been a nurse like 8 years and I'd never done that before. I'm always super careful. And I just looked at everyone. I was like, I did that. And anesthesia was like, it's okay. I have meds here. I'll take care of it. I'll stay here longer. We'll make sure we're stable. We're good. And I immediately stopped the pump. I looked at the nurse next to me and I'm like, I am frozen at the moment. Can you take over as lead for a second? And I just need to go gather myself really quick. I can't think and I'm panicking. I felt awful. I loved this patient. It was so fun to connect with her and the patient and their family members, and everything was like, oh my gosh, did I kill this patient? But what I wanted to translate this to is a moment when you realize you made a mistake and you look at the people around you and you're like, I need help. I don't know what to do here. Because whether you're a bedside nurse or a nurse leader or anything, we are going to make mistakes. And getting those around us involved help us save our team, our patients, our environment, our culture. Trying to handle it alone is never the right decision unless it truly is required by the facility. But if you can include everybody and help rectify this situation, and then I debriefed with the anesthesiologist later and the surgeon, and everyone was like, look, we talked about a couple mistakes they had made, and they were super sweet and everybody was kind. And we talked to the family, and we just let them know that she was a little bit more sedated because I had given her a little bit of extra, and I apologized. I was like, sorry, I gave her a little extra, and I owned it. But it's challenging to do things like that, but it's imperative that as a nurse and as a nurse leader, we stay in our integrity, admit when we're wrong, admit when we make mistakes, and utilize our teams and the people around us to help us succeed and build us back up. I hope that we don't stay in shame, because when we stay in shame longer, we tend to undermine some of our own goals. And I think as we continue to grow and as we continue to develop, it's terrifying. We all make these mistakes sometimes. So I just wanted to share that. Also, my hands. I'm doing house projects also because why not? I'm painting not my house, painting a lot of things, doing a lot of projects around here. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with everybody, and I hope you have a lovely day. And remember, we're not alone. We all got this together.
I Hey, everybody, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed Teresa's story. I hope that what she said resonated with you. And remember that what she said about integrity is so true. We have to be true to ourselves and true to our patients. And that's something that Teresa and I feel very strongly about. And any good nurse leader I know also carries that same integrity. So if you start that as a bedside nurse, it's going to carry through with you as a leader, and it will help you generate respect and buy in from the team that you are supporting. So thanks for listening. And if you enjoyed this video, please tune into the channel and check out some of the other content we have about some of our biggest mistakes and lessons that we've learned, some of the tips and tricks that we have learned in our leadership journey. And I hope to see you there. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.